Well, Dave, first of all, it's great to see you back. It's been just over 8 weeks now since that incredible day against Halifax that saw you crowned champions. Has it sunk in yet?
Yeah, football moves on quickly, so it has to sink in really quickly. But great to get a few weeks celebration, get a few weeks away. But like I say, as is the case, as I said, football turns around really quickly, and all of a sudden, focus turns to the next season. And to be fair, in most instances, the hard work is what happens in the off season in terms of recruitment, in terms of preparation, in terms of all those things to make sure that come the 30th of July we hit the ground running.
I mean, you touched on it there. I mean, particularly because of the late finish of the National League and the early start of the EFL, it is a very tight turnaround, as it was for you last season with Hartlepool as well. Has the break been enough, do you think?
It's a lot less tight than what it was last year. Yeah, listen, we're not in a fortunate position, but it was great to win the league and allow ourselves even no playoffs and 3 weeks more break, if you like. So, of course, it is. You're at a point where pre-season moves quickly, and as much as we like the relaxation time and the time away from it, there comes a point very quickly where you want to get back into it and you want to be back out on the grass with the players, and the pre-season can't go quick enough because ultimately everything focuses towards that. Not so much the first game of the season, but the first month, 6 weeks, because you want to get back to it. You're competitive, you want to play games that are meaningful and ultimately have jeopardy and 3 points on the line. So, no, it can't come around quick enough. We're dying to get started.
You're 3 games into pre-season already, still unbeaten, 2 wins and a draw. What have you made of the performances so far?
Yeah, mixed. Great to win matches, people will say, and probably similar. Results aren't the be-all, end-all. I think a winning habit is really good. So regardless, we want to win every game we play. But there are maybe objectives that maybe supersede that in terms of what we need to get from it. It isn't all about that result. So what games will be a little bit different. You could be winning games and be comfortable, but we still want to be doing things physically that maybe we wouldn't in a normal scenario where 3 points were on the line. So it becomes about ramping it up. I've been delighted with the shape the players have come back in. Obviously, still really highly motivated players that have come into the club have ramped up the levels, and the players that have been here have taken that on. And like I say, regardless of where we are, we've been here as a group only for a short space of time, and we're still a work in progress. To be a work in progress as a football league club is massive, and this is now about us being not our total best come the 30th of July, but being in a place where hopefully every single player is fit, is match fit, is ready to go, and make our job really difficult to pick a starting 11 and pick a squad of 18 that can go out in the first game of the season and get us 3 points.
Well, it's certainly been a busy few weeks in the transfer market as well. 7 new additions already. We'll come on to discuss each of them in more detail over the coming weeks, but how pleased are you with the business done so far?
Really pleased. Like I say, you have targets that you'd like to get into the football club, and to be able to get the people in that we have has been great. Some really good additions that will undoubtedly strengthen us, give us more depth, but ultimately challenge for those starting places. We have a really competitive squad that's full of quality and full of, like I say, optimism and motivation to try and carry on the momentum belief that we had at the back end of last year to start the season on the front foot.
It must help when it comes to identifying these players as well, that there's a real identity now about Stockport County since you've come in, a real clear way of playing that on the face of it these additions all will really suit really well.
Yeah, there is. I think you'll have profiles for individual players and individual positions that in most teams' selections will be unique to what they want in terms of, for example, what you want from a centre-back, what you want from a full-back, what you want from a midfield player. You have to put those things together and then get a list of players that fit those things, and then ultimately try and get the players that are at the top of that list. And like I say, in lots of instances, that's been the case for us, which has been brilliant. And you hope that people settle in quickly, get used to what are brilliant surroundings, and hit the ground running. There are always potential teething problems, new club, new players, getting used to style and getting used to demands of what we're looking for from them. But I think, like I say, physically, the lads are in great shape. The tactical side of things, undoubtedly, we'll work on over the course of the next few weeks going into the Barrow game, but certainly doesn't stop beyond that, and we'll still keep working and trying to be a better version of ourselves every time we're here.
In terms of those players settling in, how important is it that you've got a lot of your business done very early on? I mean, the transfer window runs obviously till the end of August, but most of the players brought in now are going to all have more or less a full pre-season to settle in. It
helps massively, and like I say, I'm in a fortunate position that we're able to do that. I suppose I've got used to most things, and a lot of the time at previous clubs it has been waiting and targets you're after, ultimately being patient. So used to doing it both ways, but like I say, it does give us more preparation time. It does allow the players we brought in to settle, because people are moving from different parts of the country to come here. So it's not just settling themselves within the training ground, it's the family, children in some instances moving up here, and the longer time you can have for that to happen, the easier it becomes. I think as a football club, we're really good at that. And I know, because we speak to the lads daily, that they've all settled in really well. The families are really happy, and they can't wait to get going.
For all the talk of new additions, one thing that's certainly not changed has been the form of Will Collar. 3 games, 3 goals, and a new 3-year deal as well. I mean, how big a statement is that, not just by the club, but for Will as well, to have him tied down to a new deal?
Yeah, of course it is. I think since I've come in, Will's been fantastic. I think I spoke about it last year that with him, Sars and Crosby, they were the sort of heartbeat of our team, and really stamped that identity that we spoke about in terms of the ability to drive forward and be really on the front foot as a midfield 3. Will added goals to his game last year, and the shackles were off almost. I spoke to him in the summer, and he was keen to, I suppose, know what was the next thing for him, really. I think he's enjoyed the freedom, the licence to get forward and use his energy, his athleticism, his fitness, his work rate to be able to benefit and really push his game on. It's the first time in a long time that he's been fit for a significant amount of time, if you like. Played a lot of games consecutively, is able to recover for that. His body comes used to it, which can only be a positive. And for him, like I say, pre-season doesn't say a massive amount at times, but what it does do is further show that from his perspective, what we're asking him to do isn't going to change. He gets himself in good areas, in and out of possession, does a brilliant job, and if he can keep getting goals at the rate they got last year, then he will ultimately flag up on most people's radar. The great thing for us is that he's committed to the club have committed to him, and hopefully he's here for a long time.
You've still got a few more pre-season games to come, starting with Chorley on Friday night. Where do you think County are at right now, and what are you hoping to see more of over the next few weeks?
We're in a good place. It's difficult the pre-season in terms of the schedule of games, the level of games. We were in I suppose a unique scenario this season where we can't play at Edgeley, so I suppose playing against a championship team or a big League One team and playing their first team at our ground wasn't a viable option for us. I'm not a big believer that makes a huge difference. Like I say, we have to focus on us. The next bit for us is increasing those fitness levels, but us being probably challenging the players tactically a little bit. So we've spoken about, I suppose, a few scenarios in games. So as much as, like I say, it's about fitness and it's about ramping those levels up and being able to press and be on the front foot for 90 minutes if that's what needed. We hope that some points we're in controlling games and we're winning games, so we may need to control the game in possession and maybe be a little bit less on the front foot. Maybe scenarios where we're overloaded in terms of numbers, down to 10 men, things like that. So we need to try and bring in some scenario-based stuff for the players. But ultimately, like I say, it's about working. It's about we won't change a massive amount from what we did last year in terms of our style, in terms of our philosophies. But what we need to do is adapt and is move forward from that. So give teams other problems. We've worked on those things in training. It was great to see some of them things come out in the game on Saturday, and hopefully that'll be more of the case when we play Friday, Saturday this weekend, and then obviously 2 games on Saturday the following weekend. So there's still plenty to work on. Still lots of detail to go through in terms of all our set pieces and all things like that were pretty dire on Saturday, and we need to get a lot better on that. And to be fair, last year we were really good at. It's not something we worked on, but certainly as we move through pre-season we will. It all, like I say, stems towards that first game of the season and making sure at that point the players are thoroughly loaded with the information they need, what we expect from them, what they expect from each other, what they expect from us, and in order to go out in, like I say, 3 weeks' time and perform and hopefully get us our first 3 points back in the Football League. Yeah,
and the fixtures are out now as well, of course. It's Barrow at home first up. What do you make of the start we've been given in the fixture list?
Great to be at home. Again, not just for us, for our supporters. So, yeah, looking forward to that. Fixture list, throw up. We'll be judged over more games this season, over 46 games, and hopefully at that point we can look back and reflect and say that we've had a good season. But to start at home and carry, like I say, that belief forward into what will be, I'm sure, a packed Desley Park will be massive. Important that we perform and make sure that all that optimism's kept up and we keep it up for as long as possible.
Yeah, I mean, we touched so many times on the importance of the supporters last season, and when you look at those season ticket sales, over 5,000 sold already. That's the first time in the club's history that they've hit that landmark. I mean, it really does feel like a special time to be involved with this football club, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's to get that, let's say, that many sort of guaranteed people coming through the door is amazing, and we can only thank them for that. I think you look at everything's moving forward. You look at the kit release and the amount sold on the first day. Amazing. Keep, I suppose, setting records and making people stand up and look off the pitch, and hopefully we can do that on the pitch. They'll play a huge part. I've said it before, and I don't just say it for the sake of it. As you've seen this year, unfortunately, the ruthless part of football is that this is a journey that football club's going on that wants to get to a certain place, and Mark and all his staff have put that in place. That means that things do change and the club evolves, staff members evolve, players evolve. The one thing that's a constant is the supporters, and regardless of how long I'm here and how long the players are here, they'll always be here. So as they have done brilliantly, support the team, support the club on what will undoubtedly be exciting, but we'll have bumps in the road. Hopefully not, but you have to expect them, and enjoy what is a great time to be a Stockport County fan.
Just finally, very early days, of course, first time back in the Football League for 11 years, but you have already been installed by some bookmakers as the early favourites for promotion. What would a successful season look like for you?
A successful season would look like us challenging at the top of the league. I think we recognise where we're at. We'll certainly not get ahead of ourselves. We know what is required of each other, first and foremost, and we think that if we can get that right, then we have really good qualities in the building to be a threat in this league. But we also know this league is better, is a step up from where we were last year. There are teams that are really the same as us, probably more teams than there were last year looking to get promoted from this league. We've got to look at it positively and say that we've got to get maybe less points over more games. There are 3 automatic promotion places. There are 4 promotion places and down to 7 in the playoffs. So everything points towards we have a chance. I think we've strengthened really, really well within the squad. But it's a long season, and football has lots and lots of variables. We've got to try and stay in control of what we can. And if we do that, then I believe in the group of players we've got. And I believe that if they apply themselves, as I know they will, then we hope to be a real threat in the division.
David, great to have you back. Thanks for your time.
Cheers, thank you.